Hello, Potato. So we have about 2/3 of this bin still to go, but you know what? Screw that today, because there's magic in the mail, yes! Most of the items that I ordered during Star Wars Day last week are finally here. That's it finally. That's actually really fast for Shop Disney. Almost faster than it took for me to order it. If you watched last Monday's video, you'll remember that I spent a few minutes at the front end of it complaining about spending literally 4 hours trying to order a few items. But I did, and with the exception of the Starbucks coffee mug, which has had no update at all, they're all here. So let's take a look at them and see what Star Wars things I got for Star Wars Day. Start with the biggest item. The probe droid. I like robots in general. You may have noticed that in some of the things we've gone through while I've been unboxing these bins. And of course I had the little set as a kid, the Hoth playset that had the big turret on it and the little probe droid that when you press the button it exploded into like 3 pieces. And it was awesome. And now I have a big metal one. It's a limited release for the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, and that sticker could have gone pretty much anywhere else and would have been great. It makes me wonder if maybe it wasn't meant to be a limited release originally, if it was going to be just an item that was going to be normally for sale, because why wouldn't that have been printed on the package? Why add it as a sticker? So I'm wondering if maybe this was going to be just an item that was available this year for the 40th, and they decided to make it limited for whatever reason. But an interesting thing about it is it's part of the Elite series. Here, actually, a little easier to read on the back. Ooh, there's words on the back. There's stuff on the back. Specially designed for deep space exploration and reconnaissance, probe droids are employed in science and military applications. Tenacious hunters and searchers, probe droids gather information upon arrival at their target location. If confronted after their main mission has been completed, these droids can self-destruct. And then the same, but in French. Nice. But see, if you notice, it says Elite Series. Now, why is that significant? It's significant to me, at least, because you may remember that I've mentioned before that they made a series of die-cast figures at the Disney store, and Shop Disney, of course, and that is what they were called. They were the Elite Series. Here's one of the older ones that I never opened. It's actually part of one of the last ones that I think that came out, were these. There was like an R2 and I think a Gonk droid and I think an R5. And yeah, they were part of the Elite series. So I'm wondering if maybe this means the Elite series is going to get rebooted and we'll start to get new figures from it, or at least, figures from the older movies. I know we may not get a lot of stuff from the new trilogy so much. But I wouldn't be surprised to see. I don't think they ever did a Boba Fett. If they did, I missed it. But a Boba Fett or a Mandalorian with the child, I could see those being made and sold. And I like these figures because they're big and chunky, heavy metal things. There's lots of great detail work on them. If I can get it without getting so close that you can't see it, because this camera does hate to have things close up to it. I suppose I could zoom in. That might actually help, huh? Yep, lots of great detail on these, and they have surprising amounts of articulation generally for metal items. Something you don't frequently see is a lot of articulation in metal figures. Yeah, but this is nice. I'm glad I was able to get it. I kind of figured it would sell out pretty quickly, but I think it was still up there that night. You still could get this one. Alright, and zoom out. And next, the small things. We'll start out with the Star Wars Day pin. There were 3 different pins on there. One of them was like $55 and it was Clone Troopers. And I'm not that into Clone Troopers or giant pins or spending $55 on a pin. So I didn't get that one. The other one was the cartoon Yoda, which is not a character design I've been a huge fan of. I'm guessing it's because the last episode of the Clone Wars was just released on Disney+. But I got this one. Yep, Stormtroopers. Classic, I'm guessing Stormtroopers because it's the 40th for Empire. It's very shiny. I think last year's was Boba Fett. And did they do it the year before that? I think before that, I was getting stuff back in, if you remember, Think Geek. Think Geek used to do Star Wars Day pins. I know I've got like a BB-8 from them, and I think a Yoda pin or a Vader pin. I'd have to go and look. Those are put away in a drawer. Yep, it's just your basic, of course these are official pin trading pins. Limited release of who knows how many. Not enough to fill demand, we know that. That's a nice little pin. It was, how much was it? $15.99. Not great, but not awful. Pretty standard. I am a cheapskate. Let's get that out of the way right now. I am a cheapskate. Alright, next is the third item. The Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary Limited Release pin. Not strictly speaking a Star Wars Day item, but, I mean, it's a very nice looking pin. I kind of wish, if they did one of these for New Hope, I kind of wish I'd gotten one. Because it would look nice with this. This is a nice, look, I think it's the poster art in the background there, and then the big shiny 40th Anniversary logo on the front. It's a nice pin. And it was also $15.99. These were actually the second order. I made 2 orders. Spent about 4 hours ordering this and our last item, and another hour trying to order those and the mug. And on to the last item, and sadly we only got one of these, which means it's going to have to go in the display box. I won't be able to give it to like Darth Vader to hold his lights as a keyblade. It's the key! Now, I was very surprised when I opened the package up and the key was like this. I figured since I was paying $13 for it, it was going to be in a box like the Cinderella key was. I figured just, the UK would get these because they were just a giveaway there. You had to buy them outright here. But no, it came in it came as the normal giveaway key style with just a little dangling tag, which ultimately, for display purposes, is nice because this will fit into a display much nicer along with the other half dozen keys now that we have than the boxed ones would. Because yeah, Cinderella is going to be a challenge for when we set up our little shadow box or whatever we end up doing with these things. Let's just May the 4th be with you on it. The weird thing, and if you have one of these, please let me know if yours says this too. But it says, and see if I can focus on it. Probably not. Disney Store, Glendale, California, 91201, and that has like a serial number on it. Do they all say that? If you have one of these, please let me know in the comments if yours says that or if it says something else. I'm wondering, did they perhaps make them for individual stores? And then since, of course, it got aborted from being an in-store event, they just all got shunted online. So please, if you have one of these, and yours has something different on it, please let me know. Something about this feels cheaper to me than the other keys up to this point, than like the Minnie key or the Mickey key or the Aladdin key. I don't know, it doesn't, maybe because there's more detail work in the coloring on it, it just feels, so much cheaper to me. So I don't know. But it'll still look good in a shadow box on display with all of its partners. And I think this would be the second like non-strictly Disney one, wouldn't it? Because Pixar, we had a Pixar Toy Story one, which would be the first one that wasn't just like strict Disney. So I guess now we need to have a Marvel one. I don't know, ultimately for all the desire to have one of these, it's really just okay. It doesn't seem like maybe as much thought went into it as has gone into previous keys. And maybe I'm just being negative, I don't know. I like it. Don't get it wrong. I'm not going to throw it away or anything. I'm glad I got it. Certainly fought hard enough to get it. I spent literally half of a working day ordering it. But yeah, it's here. Star Wars is here. And I've got it. And now you've seen it. So, I hope if you ordered stuff on Star Wars Day, you got what you wanted as well. Yeah. I really do hope the Elite Series figures are going to come back and we'll see a new series of those. But time will tell on that. But there's my pins. There's my Keyblade. Lightsaber key. I don't know. I'm glad I got it. It's just, it could have been, it just, I don't know, something about it just doesn't click for me. I don't know, like I said, I'm probably just being negative. But yep, that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to keep it nice and short today, at least compared to what I've been doing for Quarantine Logs. There's our Star Wars Day items. Yep, nothing else coming in now. I'm not going to do a video for the mug when it comes in. Of course, Saturday, just 3 days away from now, we have this month's Minnie Mouse main attraction to deal with. So hopefully Disney, after all this time, will finally do something to maybe make it easier for humans to buy it than bots. Because I know that was like apparently a big issue with Star Wars Day, was that the bots were just on the servers, and somehow apparently the bots got through without problems, where the humans had hours and hours of issues. And that's bad. And I know this has been an issue for years. I've mentioned before that this was going on back in 2018 with the Mickey Mouse Memories stuff. And I have no faith that Disney has any interest in fixing it, because they're selling the items. If you make a limited number of things and you sell all that number, it doesn't really matter if you sold them to scalpers or whether you sold them to actual fans, because you got your money. Yeah, your fans are upset, but you know what? It's not like we're going to stop liking Star Wars or Marvel or Minnie Mouse, right? We're still going to come back, and we're still going to do it all over again, and we're going to complain, and we're going to whine, and they're going to sell 100% of the items. I mean, unless we're going to stop buying from them, there's really not too much we can expect them to see a reason to do this stuff properly. We can't. It's not reasonable. They're not going to police themselves if we don't give them a reason to. And let's be honest, we're not going to give them a reason to. So we will do these things. We will fight for these things. We will get mad and post stuff on Facebook that they will ignore or give copy paste that, isn't helpful in any way, shape, or form. And if we're lucky, if we're very lucky, we'll get the items we want. And if we're not lucky, we won't buy them on eBay, because that encourages the flippers. Never buy from a flipper on eBay or any of the other places that do it, because you give them reason to do this. The only way we're really going to make this work, to make the flippers go away, is if we stop giving the flippers an incentive. And with that to think about, I will again remind you to please wash your hands properly, wear your mask when out in public, practice your safe social distancing, and stay healthy. And I'll see you in the next video, when we probably will continue on with this bin.